And I remember thinking like, I am never gonna be able to walk again. Like I literally thought, like, this is it, this is me now. And Decker just woke up. Let it be known that I have been trying to film my first vlog back for weeks at this point. Like it's like, gotta go get my baby. Dang it. I put him in this carrier thinking this would solve everything and now he wants to eat. Dang it. What? It's me. It's Mom. Okay, everything you just witnessed is such an accurate representation of what life looks like these days. I tried so many times this morning to film a little get ready chit chat segment. Like seriously, I started at probably 7:30. Right now it is 11:19. And it's not happening because this is what happens every day. I've actually been trying to start this vlog for weeks now. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Like that, like weeks, what? But yes, every day I say today's the day I'm going to vlog, and every day there is just no time. And I've heard this saying, what is it, like the days are long but the years are short? No, I feel like I wake up and then I blink and then it's nighttime because there's just so much to do in a day when you have a little babe, which I'm trying to get him used to his crib because he is very long. He's a very tall guy. He's gonna outgrow his bassinet any second. So I'm trying to get him used to his crib. He is not a fan of that thing. Life has been crazy. I feel so excited to be back though. Like I'm going to get this down pat. We don't have a schedule right now. Everything is just like very go with the flow. But I edited my birth vlog. I edited like that month recap video and it just felt so good to be back at it. Like seriously, I am so determined to find a balance between motherhood and then YouTube and work and all of that. It just like has been so impossible though. Like I always heard you don't even have time to shower. Even brushing your teeth feels like oh my gosh, gotta do it within 3 minutes before he starts crying. I will be talking more about my new dental care routine, by the way, a little bit later. I am working with Boca on this video, which is like the best kept secret in the dental world ever. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, like these are things that hands down I have to prioritize. Otherwise, like I can't even imagine. But truly, like the little things are so hard right now. Even sitting here, like I was about to just do my whole routine. There's no point. It's like, is there a point? It's already like 11:22. Like, what am I even doing it for? I don't know. I obviously just want to feel good. Like, I've literally been living in sweatpants since he was born. And, oh, by the way, do you want to know a little fun fact that I realized the other day? I have not gone anywhere except for doctor's appointments since he was born. And I'm not exaggerating. The absolute only place was on the way to my OB appointment. I had to fill up gas. Like I just got out of my car and got gas. But otherwise, I have not been to a grocery store. I have not, like literally not anywhere. I do go on walks outside though. So like obviously like I'm getting out and about, but I'm just not going to like a physical place. But that's crazy. Like what the heck? And by the way, I hope you guys don't think I'm complaining or anything. Like genuinely, this has been like the best. Well, I never want to put out a false like thing. Like I can't stand that. I just don't like when people like only put out like the good. So yes, this has been like the best time of my life, but truly the hardest. And I can talk more about actually even my postpartum recovery in this vlog as well. But for now, like I really think I'm going to try to put him in his crib. Like we are trying to make this work because time is of the essence. He's growing by the day and he has to get used to that thing. He looks so cute. Oh my gosh. Mom's here. Mom is here. Good morning. Even though I honestly don't even think it's morning anymore. What time is it actually? It's 11:22. I am ready by 11:22. Today I woke up and I decided no matter what, no matter how long it takes me, I am getting ready. Like I need this. I can't explain it. Like I need it mentally. I'm not in a button down. That's been my uniform since Decker was born, just because with breastfeeding, it's so much easier just to have a button down and it just makes the whole process easier. But not today. I decided to put on a little, what are these called again? Overalls. Put on some overalls. These are from Hellloooo's, and like I just need to feel normal. And also As you guys can see, I've gotten some questions about Asher and Decker. Little Ash is adapting. I feel like the first few nights he was like, what the heck? And now he's realizing this is our new normal. So that is good. We don't let them obviously alone together ever, but I feel like Ash is realizing like, okay, this little human is part of our lives, and like they could be together as long as we are monitoring them. My mom is downstairs with Decker, which has been such a help this morning. But the problem is, if Decker is here and he is crying, I don't care who is taking care of him, who is helping me out. Like, I need to be there. I need to be part of that experience. I need to try to calm him down. And it's not anything like, oh, I just feel like it's my obligation. It's that my heart physically will crack in half. Like, hearing your baby cry is just like the worst thing in the entire world. And so if I hear him, like, I'm going to drop everything. So that's why, like, my mom got here at like 9 a.m. I should have been ready a long time ago, but I just like hate being apart from Decker, which I think is normal. It's just really hard. Like, even right now I'm filming this and all I'm thinking about is like, he's down there, he's probably looking so cute, like I just want to be with him. But I did pump 2 bottles this morning. I'm probably gonna pump again in like 30 minutes. Cluster feeding, guys. It has been out of this world. I don't even know if at this point it's cluster feeding what he's doing, because when I've looked it up, cluster feeding is when babies feed a lot. They feed small amounts, but like very often. That's not what's been happening every evening. I actually have it all tracked in my Huckleberry app. When I tell you, he started breastfeeding at 3:33 p.m. yesterday, and we did not stop longer than like 2 or 3 minutes until he went to bed. And what time did finally our last breastfeeding session ended at 10:33 p.m. I was on the couch that entire time. I don't even understand. And like, I was texting my friend and she's like, do you even have that much milk? I looked it up and like, apparently there's always milk available, but obviously not like a ton. I really don't know how this is possible, but we need to like figure out, even like if I give him a bottle, at least for 20 minutes during that period, like it's just a lot. I'm going to knock out about like 25-30 minutes worth of work. Like, that's just, I'm making myself do it, and then I will reward myself by getting to go down there and chill with Decky, which I was never expecting myself to call him Decky. That is a very interesting name. You like can't anticipate the nicknames you call someone, like once you name them. For example, Asher, like his nicknames, like I'm like, what? Never thought I'd be calling him Ashartica, but I call him Ashartica pretty often. Smasher, call him Smoochy Poochie a lot, or just Smoochy for short. But yeah, I never actually talked about it on here. Decker is the name we picked. No one guessed it, actually. I haven't heard of too many Deckers, so it's not an incredibly common name, but yeah, I am like, it's so funny. We were so back and forth, like, should we name him this? Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the name, like, this is it, like, this is amazing. But I will say, like, now he's here, he's Decker. Like, he couldn't be anything else. Like, he is Decky. So, yeah, it just goes to show, like, you could stress over the name thing, like, whatever you name them, it's just who they become. Kind of like how my name is a last name. Decker is originally, like, a last name. So is Clancy, and I decided, you know what? Decker and I, we both like having last names for first names. One thing about me is I will never do my nails according to the season. Like, I mean, obviously if it's like Christmas, I love red nails, but I feel like right now everyone's doing fall neutrals, browns, nudes, and here I am with my electric blue nails that I just put on. But like, honestly, it makes me happy. What can I say? Oh my gosh, and actually, another moment of truth. I keep trying to put my wedding ring on. I haven't done it in a couple of weeks. My fingers are just not what they used to be pre-pregnancy. Let us see. So this is the engagement. Oh gosh, no. Wow, that's really sad. I'm probably gonna have to get it resized. Oh well. Some people say their fingers did return to normal after pregnancy, and others, such as what I think is gonna happen in my case, there's a little something extra there, which is a-okay. But while my mom is watching Decker, I wanted to sit down and share with you guys the dental care routine I've been doing since this summer. Like, I've been doing this for the past few months. I made the switch probably in like, I don't know, July or August. And specifically, I made the switch to Boca, which I did so much research. I obviously grew up just using, well, not obviously, but I feel like most of us grew up using just your normal run-of-the-mill toothpaste. Fluoride is the one that most of us grew up using. But I did so much research on what's called nano hydroxyapatite toothpaste, which is what all of the Boca products use. Oh my goodness, it makes such a difference. My teeth right now just feel so much more fresh, so much more clean, almost like smoother. Like if you run your tongue like along your teeth, mine feels so smooth. And if you're like me and you're just now learning about nano-hydroxyapatite, what it is, what it does, it makes up the primary foundation of your teeth and your bones, which in turn makes it super supportive of your overall tooth enamel health. And if you know anything about teeth, I mean, even if you don't know anything about teeth, your enamel is everything. I actually I don't want to say I ruined my enamel, but I badly damaged it years ago in high school when I discovered those whitening strips. It was great. It was very like satisfying at the time to see my teeth like, you know, become whiter. But in turn, it has made my teeth very sensitive, just not a great situation. And this toothpaste not only helps fight against cavities, but it also helps with tooth sensitivity. And I am back on my coffee grind now that I'm not pregnant anymore. I've been drinking iced coffee, and I have not had any tooth sensitivity, any tooth pain, which hasn't always been the case in the past. Non-toxic, paraben-free, doesn't use fluoride, and not that you'd want to do this, but it's totally safe for you to swallow, which just goes to show how good the ingredients are. So I'm going to have a link below, and with my code, you can get 15% off your Amazon order, or you can shop on their website as well. And they have these 3-packs they sell, and that code will stack on top of their already discounted 3-packs, so you can get up to 25% off. Another switch I made is they have these electric toothbrushes that I love. I hadn't been using an electric toothbrush because first of all, they could be really expensive, but I hate the big, bulky, just felt like so much. This, so sleek, not $1 million either, which is great. And it's just one button. And then I really feel like, I mean, obviously I still floss, but I really feel like it does get in like the crevices. And I honestly don't have to do as much work, which is always a good thing. So I'm going to have that link below and that code if you guys want to make the switch, see how your teeth feel. Like, it just feels so good to have clean teeth, to be protecting them, doing everything I can to make sure everything going on in here is optimal and ultimately as healthy as can be. My big task right now is setting up this Mom Cozy bottle warmer, because when Decker wants milk, Decker needs milk. Mom, would you say it's like normal?
No, he's a piglet.
But is it normal?
He snorts, he growls.
Is it normal?
Well, he's growing, obviously.
Yeah, but all I keep doing is asking.
Tell you he's not normal.
I know. All I keep doing is asking my mom, like, is this? Did I do this?
You were a piglet. Neal was not.
Really? So I needed my food immediately.
Yes, I told you. Even when you were like 2, you would wake me up in the morning, and I would be asleep, and your face would be just the height of my bed. The second I opened my eyes, you would just say, matter of factly, "I'm hungry." Mm-hmm. Oh my God, he wanted.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm hungry.
So maybe he takes more after his mom.
Well, I think his dad's an eater too.
Yeah, I guess he's.
If he's a fast eater, well, no, he takes after his dad.
But it's so scary. I feel like, what is it? Like, he like holds all the power in life. I'm like, I'm sorry, Decker, I'm trying. Mm-hmm. How's your foray into? Is foray a word?
Yeah.
And how was your foray into grandmotherhood, Ben?
Very good.
You enjoy
Very
it?
Rewarding. I recommend it to everyone. Talk your kids into it.
My mom's only here for about like 20 more minutes, so I really want to do a lot of things. I feel like I really try to take advantage when she's here, but I say that and then I don't prioritize the time well. So I'm trying to get better at that. Like, sometimes I'm just so overwhelmed with everything I have to do that I do nothing. Like, that was actually yesterday. That was 100% yesterday, but I want to like refill wipes and diapers and laundry and all of that. But top of my to-do list, I do want to sit down and talk to you guys about my postpartum recovery, because I shared my birth story in, I think, the last video you guys would have seen, but I never really talked about what my recovery experience was like. All in all, my labor experience was pretty smooth. I had a very smooth induction. Pushing was very, very, very difficult. I pushed for over 2 hours, which is not uncommon for your first baby. But it was a rough 2 hours. I did get an epidural, so I didn't feel what went down, but that was my big question once he popped out. I mean, first it was like, oh my gosh, this is my baby. But the second question was like, what's going on down there? Like, what happened? Am I okay? And my doctor, after stitching me up, like, she didn't say anything as she was stitching me up, but I knew that's what she was doing. Once she was done stitching me up, she came over to my bed and she said, we classify tears in 4 categories: 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 4th degree, and you have a 3rd degree tear. I mean, I have done so much research on this because I was trying to decide if I should even try a vaginal birth because of my baby's head size that we saw at the growth ultrasound. I was wondering, should I just get an elective C-section? Which my doctor, one of them, I see multiple doctors, one of them was like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea if you know, you want that. Like, they wouldn't tell me, like, what they truly recommended. But that, like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? But I just wanted to try it, like, just to see. Like, I don't know, it just felt weird just to, like, not do it based on something that's not 100% accurate, because growth ultrasounds are famously inaccurate sometimes. So, anyway, I've done so much research, and going into it, I said, based on so many forums I have seen, if I were to get a 3rd or a 4th degree tear, both of them are considered severe tears, I would actually rather just get a C-section. Because I was looking at all these forums and everyone was talking about how horrible they are. So I had 3rd, and I was just so scared, because it's so scary to be laying there, numb, knowing you just got this horrible injury, and just waiting for the pain to kick in, essentially. Like, normally, you know, you hurt yourself, it's like the pain's immediate, like, you don't have time to just sit and wait for it to come. So we were in the room, like the room I gave birth, for 2 hours, I think is standard. And then after those 2 hours, typically if you have a vaginal birth, they put you in a wheelchair and they wheel you to the recovery room. I was so numb, because if you watch my birth story, I did like the epidural bulb, where you give yourself more of the epidural many times last minute, because it wore off in a particular area. So I didn't realize that as I was giving it to myself, my whole body was becoming more and more and more numb, but it wasn't even touching that specific area. So it was stupid that I did that. But they were like, okay, like, you know, obviously it might be hard to walk, but like, are you ready? And I'm like, I don't even have legs right now. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have legs. Like, I can't feel anything. So they had to just take the whole bed, which they normally don't do for vaginal, but took the whole bed. And while I couldn't feel whatever was going on down there, immediate pain began, because we started breastfeeding right away, which wish I did more research on. It was not good at first. It was not good at all. The latch was just so bad. Like, I remember the first time he latched on, I was just like, I think I let out like a yell. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was so painful. In the hospital, my hospital gown was actually bloody because of what was going on here. I got many injuries from breastfeeding, which all healed so fast. But gosh, like, we could have prevented them, because it wasn't his fault. It, like, Decker's. Like, Decker had a great latch. It was me for not latching him on there properly. So, yeah, immediately in a lot of pain there. And then I woke up around, like, 1 a.m., gave birth at 7:18 p.m., 1 a.m. to a nurse coming in saying, like, do you want to try to walk to the bathroom? Because I hadn't walked since. And that is when I started feeling some pain down there a little bit. And she helped me. It was the slowest walk to the bathroom ever. She helped me go to the bathroom. There was, TMI, so much blood, which I always hear about. Like, when you give birth, it's like actually like an internal wound that is bleeding, because your placenta detaches from your uterus. So it's like this huge wound, essentially. And so, oh, so much blood. And she helped me change, got back to bed. When I woke up a few hours later, that is when I realized it was going to be a very, very, very rough recovery. It just was the most painful thing ever. I could not walk, but I also couldn't sit. I was just in so much pain, and I remember as soon as we went up to the recovery room, I said to the nurse, okay, like, I'm still numb, like, I have an epidural, but what are we gonna do about the pain that's going to happen? I just was anticipating it, and I was so nervous. And she said, don't worry, like, we're gonna get you on Advil. And one thing the doctor said to me, and I think, okay, this is where a lot of my fears came from, by the way. She said, she said, actually her quote was, this first week is going to be very rough, but you'd be surprised how fast your body can heal. And then she said, if you need opioids for the pain, there's no shame in that. What? Like, you think I'm going to need opioids? Like you don't mess around with opioids. Like, so it has to be excruciating if opioids are even on the table. So that frightened me. But once I got back to the room, the nurse said, like, don't worry, we are going to be giving you Advil. And that was my pain regimen for the next couple of weeks. It's just Advil every 6 hours. And it was something I was taking religiously. Like, I would wait and look at the clock, because you know how it typically runs out before you're allowed to get more. And by the way, like, when I say runs, like, it's not like it was I take the Advil and I don't feel anything. It was I take the Advil and maybe I can walk to the bathroom. Like, it was rough. And I remember thinking, like, I am never going to be able to walk again. I literally thought, like, this is it. This is me now. Like, I'm just in so much pain. And, like, it definitely did impact our hospital stay, because when you're in that much pain, it's just, like, it's just hard, right? Like, there were so many times, like, Decker would be, like, in his little bassinet, like, across the room, and I wanted so badly just to walk over there and just look at him. Or let alone even hold him, but just look at him. That's all I wanted. And I literally couldn't because I couldn't get out of bed. It was so bad. Zach had to help me go to the bathroom at first because, like, I don't even know why. Like, I literally couldn't even, like, move my body at all. He was cleaning up a lot of blood. Like, people always said you bleed a lot. I wasn't even prepared. Like, I'm talking, like, our bathroom looked like a murder, like, happened. Like, that's, maybe I should edit that out, but, like, I'm not kidding. Like, I couldn't control, like, it just was everywhere. There was no stopping the blood. Honestly, I packed a Polaroid camera, I packed a digital camera, I packed these cute little, like, placards, is that how you say it? That says, like, welcome to the world, and, like, his first photos, like, where you put the placards, like, you know, right next to him. I didn't do any of that, and I can't even fathom doing any of that. By the way, I packed makeup. Laughable that I thought I was ever even, like, none of that occurred. Honestly, what was even more tough than the hospital experience, though, was our first few days home and our first few nights home, and realizing, like, oh my gosh, I have this baby who I have to take care of, and I can't even take care of myself. And big shout out to Zach here, by the way. He helped so much with everything, but like, to have to ask someone to do every little thing for you, like, there were times I'm sitting there and I'm like, Zach, can you get up and walk across the room and just hand me, like, the remote that's right there? That sounds absurd, but every time I got up, it cost me something. Like, you know, like I just couldn't afford any more of the pain. It was really, really, really hard. So I was obviously online a lot, and I was reading so much, like, people who have these 3rd-degree tears. A lot of people deal with fecal incontinence, or even, is it like called urinary incontinence, basically where you can't hold your bladder, you can't hold it in at all. I'm very, very grateful I never experienced any of that. And guys, I think it was like 2 weeks, 3 days later, I woke up and I realized I'm not in pain. What? Like, everywhere I read was like, you are going to be, a lot of people say they were never normal again, and they were just, like, in pain forever, and all of these things. And I remember I went to my 2-week appointment, and I said to my doctor, like, she asked how I was doing, and I said, well, the pain, oh, and by the way, I had a 2-week appointment, because I think if you have a severe tear, you have to have a 2-week appointment at my hospital. I don't even know why, because they didn't even look at anything. It literally, all they did was say, like, how are you feeling? But anyway, so I said, like, well, the pain used to be a 10, and now it's a 5. And by the way, those are, like, crazy numbers. To tell someone your pain is a 10, I feel like you never go there. Like, it's always like, oh, I reserved 10 for getting my arm chopped off. No, it was a 10. Like, it was really, really hard. So I said pain was a 10, now it's a 5. 5 is still, like, pretty up there. And then I don't know what it was. Like, I woke up, like, a couple days later, and I just felt intense itchiness, which was obviously really uncomfortable. In hindsight, I think that was everything healing. And, like, I feel great now. So I'm so excited to be able to come on here and tell you guys, like, there is hope if you get a severe tear during childbirth. I was thinking, like, if you get a severe tear, like, you're ruined for life. Like, and in the moment when you feel that much pain, like, you truly feel that. But I do want to show you guys what was just the biggest godsend. Ooh, you're on a rocking chair and it just rocks. Keep this in mind if you plan on having any kids in the future, anything like that. Like, you need this. I'd say even if you have, like, a 2nd or 1st-degree tear, like, it's still probably not pleasant down there, because, by the way, I had a 3rd-degree tear and I also had a 2nd-degree tear, so I've experienced both. And I could feel the difference between them, by the way. It's in, like, different parts, and yeah, I could feel the difference. And the 2nd still was painful, just not on the same level. But what you are going to want is you are going to want to create a padsicle. Step number 1, disposable underwear. A lot of people do like diapers. Personally, not my thing. I prefer the Freedom Mom boy shorts, because you don't want your underwear anywhere near the situation at all. It's just, no. Like, just no. So these were perfect. These go on first. Next step, any pad, really. Then, and this is the star of the show, this is truly, in those first couple of weeks, the only relief. Like, just, this was everything. It's an ice pack. So these are, like, the Freedom Mom ice packs you can also get as well. There we go. We have the pop, and you go like that. So you've got your pad. You're going to put the ice pack over the pad. Next up, we've got these Freedom Mom perennial cooling pad liners, and you're just going to layer that over the pad. This I would use sometimes and skip other times just because I didn't always love having like the feeling of wet like down there, but it's a perennial relief healing foam. I think it was really the beginning when this was especially helpful, but I kind of just layered it on there. And there you have your padsicle. And probably the biggest tip that the nurses also gave me in the hospital is you don't put it, like, you know, when you have your period, like you put it on your underwear. Don't do that. Like, literally just stick it up there and then put the underwear up. So, yeah, we're getting very TMI, but after you have a baby, like, TMI does not exist. TMI, like, no. There's no such thing. No such thing. And I will say a lot of people did recommend Dermoplast. I personally hated this stuff. I didn't think it helped at all. And if anything, it just made me feel weird. So, I didn't love that. But I am happy to say I can retire this little basket until next time, if there is a next time. We'll see. I'm kidding. It's fine. Asher has no business looking this cute. Like, are you kidding me? Shout out to my brother who got Decker this little fish toy that he loves looking at. And it does play music, but I turned the music off for... Oh my gosh! He almost just kicked me in the face. Good job, buddy. I am going to end the vlog here. Thank you guys for watching. I feel like it was... Life's just chaotic these days, so it's gonna take quite a bit to get back in a rhythm, but I want to get back in a rhythm, so it is going to happen. We are going to find balance, but I'm going to have that link for Boca below if you guys want to give it a try. Once again, you can get 15% off with that link, and then you can stack it on top of the discount they already have, so that's up to 25% off on Amazon or on their website. And seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all of the sweet messages and just words of support you guys have been sending on Instagram, and it just literally has meant the world. See you guys next time. Bye.